Alright, hello guys. In this video we're going to be talking about who could see snow early next week. You've probably heard all about this snowstorm system that could potentially be affecting the East Coast next week. You've probably seen all sorts of maps. We're going to go over what could actually happen. At the end of this video there will be a map where we talk about the probabilities for different regions, so you can see what the probabilities are that you will see snowfall early next week. And there's going to be multiple update videos on this storm over the next few days up until when it happens, so stay tuned for that as well. But before we get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to check out the links in the description for our social medias. Now let's get right into things. Briefly, in the beginning of this video, I'm going to go over our forecast for yesterday's snowstorm, the little snowstorm that happened here. Here is the actual snowfall that occurred during that storm. You can see there was a solid in the dark blues there. So in the dark blues up into those white and pink colors, that's 3 inches plus, and then in those turquoise colors, that's where we're looking at more of a 1 to 3 inch mark, as well as the grays. Now let's see what I was forecasting, and you can see it's pretty spot on. You can go over that again, pause the video, and let me know what you thought. I'm giving it a B plus or an A. Pretty solid snowfall forecast, and probably the best one there was for this little storm. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a B plus or an A on that one. But let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Now, also, an important factor into the future forecast this winter for snowfall outlooks, and I'm going to be going over kind of the idea and what we do to come up with these maps. So I'm going to be showing you guys the whole process here. Now, something I'm paying attention to is the trends so far with the models this year. Here was a model run from the 3rd of November for that system that happened yesterday on the GEM model, so the Canadian model. First off, it had a very southern solution here. Southern New England getting 12 inches. Obviously, this never ever happened. Now, let's move on one day, and you can see it clicked a solid click north. And let's move on one more, and then you can see it went even further north, and this was kind of closer to the solution that actually happened. So going into this next snow system, I'm going to pay attention to the fact that the models so far in this winter season have been showing things too far south and then trending them north. So we're going to watch what happens with this one as well, as we update you guys almost daily on this one. Now we're going to take a look at the simulated radar for this storm on the model runs and see what they're showing as far as what kind of precipitation you can expect during this system. Now I have two very different solutions here on the GFS, and then I'm going to show you the Canadian model. So here on our first frame on the GFS, we're looking at November 11th, and you can see there's snow going on for Ohio, Indiana, as well as upstate New York and Vermont and New Hampshire. Now, as we head towards the middle of the storm, you can see it's very, very far north. Only basically the Adirondacks and the Finger Lakes regions of New York getting snowfall, and then down through Pittsburgh and some of those Appalachian regions of the United States. And then as we head towards the end of the storm, you can see it moves out, and we see some snowfall for Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. But this is a very, very far north solution based compared to what we saw in earlier days for this storm. Now, here's a very different outlook here. Here's the Canadian model. And you can see things are a good click further south. You can see Ohio and the northern half of Pennsylvania are getting snow. This is going to be November 11th, the night of November 11th here. And let's move on one frame. And you can see there's a huge difference here. We can see Massachusetts, Connecticut, upstate New York, a lot of Pennsylvania, and still the Appalachian regions, and then Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. All these regions are receiving snow, and you can see the low pressure system is much stronger and much further south on the Canadian model. And then as we head towards the end of the model run here, towards the tail end of this storm, you can see we have a 976 millibar low pressure system. That's a strong low pressure system, Miller B nor'easter here, and this would create a lot of snowfall for a lot of these New England regions. So I'm feeling like it's going to be something in between these two solutions, and we're going to have to figure out what it's going to be in between these two. And it's going to be very, very fun to figure that out with you guys. That's why I love this time of year, guys. These snowstorms are so hard to predict, and it creates for a lot of fun tracking situations where we're constantly watching the models to see what's going to happen. Very, very exciting stuff for people like me. Now, earlier in the week, you've probably seen this map because it went viral on Facebook. Here was the GFS total snowfall and this came out on the 6th, so this came out 2 days ago, and I think this is absolute baloney, guys. For Virginia, North Carolina, a lot of those mid-Atlantic regions, it's not going to be like this. I'm sorry, and you're going to see that on my probability map You probably want to hear me say, oh, this is going to happen. You're going to see this much snow for people in Virginia, North Carolina, Maryland, DC, Delaware, areas like that. It's just not going to happen. It's only November. And also, look at the top of this map. This is what they won't tell you. Includes sleet. This includes sleet. So a lot of these regions are going to, if this was to verify, would only see sleet, not snowfall. And also, sleet does not accumulate at the rate of snow. So it would not be 12 inches of sleet. It would be maybe an inch of sleet, if that. So sleet is a lot more compact. I just wanted to mention that. Now, the gem model seems to be doing the best job with this storm so far, and it's obviously going to depend on what actually happens. But here was the gem model run on the 4th. So this was 4 days ago. This was what it was showing. And now let's see what it's showing now. It's pretty much sticking with what it was showing, whereas the GFS was showing that 2 days ago, and you've seen what it's showing now, a very, very far northern solution. As you saw the radar that I showed earlier, it was just keeping everything well to the north. So, all right, let's get into our probability forecast, probably what you all clicked on this video to see. Now, in this white region, you can see this is Fantasyland under 5%. See, this includes Virginia, North Carolina, Delaware, Maryland, DC. All of these regions, just very, very low chance. Fantasyland. I think that's a great description of this. And people are obviously going to run away with this. Oh, the models showed this. And make a bunch of maps and show everybody. I'm not going to do that, guys. It's Fantasyland. Probably not going to happen. Again, under 5%. Now, in this light blue region, lower chance snow showers. So this is where there's a chance, okay? This isn't Fantasyland. These areas, I've seen it happen before, and I think there's an okay chance that this could happen. Probably about 25% chance that these areas see accumulating snowfall, but still, it's a way better chance than the white region. Now, for the purple region here, there's a moderate chance and could be major. So these are the areas where we're talking about a serious chance of this being an actual snowstorm. Over 50% chance, or I would say around 50% chance that these purple regions see accumulating snowfall. And then in this pink region, it's looking like a good chance. There's a really good chance that these areas in pink see accumulating snowfall. This includes areas like Buffalo, the Finger Lakes regions, the Adirondacks, the Green Mountains, the White Mountains, and then northern Maine. These areas, obviously, when a system comes through, do see accumulating snowfall even this time of year. These are very, very high elevation areas or very, cold temperature climate regions. These areas usually see the most snowfall from these types of systems this time of year. And looking at the GFS solution and the Canadian solution, it looks kind of probable that this would be a realistic solution with this one. So let's go back over it. I'm going to add all the words back to the screen here. Okay, and I just want to clarify this because people are going to see the thumbnail and not get to this point of the video, and they're going to say, oh, you were forecasting snowfall for Virginia, because they're only going to see the colors. They're not going to look at what I'm actually saying. So I'm going to redo this, even though they're still not going to see it. Now, in the white region, Fantasyland under 5%, very probable that these areas do not see any accumulating snowfall. I'm not saying it's impossible, though. It could happen. Just very, very improbable. Now, in that light blue turquoise region, lower chance / snow showers. So there is a moderate chance that you see snow showers with no accumulation, but there's a lower chance of accumulation. So I would say, again, around 25% chance of seeing accumulating snow in this light blue shade region. Now, in our purple region, this is where we're kind of getting a really, really good chance. Moderate chance and could be major, and this is a region where I would say there's about a 50% chance of accumulating snowfall for all of these regions. This includes cities like Cleveland, almost Scranton, Albany, Boston. So you can see Scranton, Albany, you're right on the line, and Boston as well. I would say you're probably at about a 45% chance because you're right under that 50% chance region. But you're probably somewhere in between 25 and 50% chance. Albany, I feel like you'll see flakes, towards the tail end of these systems. The cold air gets in those valleys more, and you'll probably end of snow. I could see that happening. But for areas like Boston and Scranton, it's going to be a little bit harder to get snow, and I feel like they will see flakes during the system, though. Now, for our pink region, going to go over this once again. Highest chance could be major. So this includes cities like Burlington, Buffalo, Syracuse, all of the Adirondacks, all of the Green Mountains, all of the White Mountains, so North Conway, Berlin, New Hampshire, areas like that, as well as areas in Maine like Holton, Caribou. All these cities have a highest chance could be major, and these are all areas that saw snowfall during our previous snowstorm. This is a very common situation that we'll see. We'll see a snowstorm happen 2 days before the next one, and we'll see them take a very similar track. So I would not be surprised to see it try to take a more similar track to that one. I think this one has a lot more intensity to it and a lot more potential than our previous storm, but could be a similar snow rain line. Though I feel like there's a better chance that this one's further south than that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to share it with your friends and family over social medias, Facebook. Send it to them, share it with them, whatever you got to do. And also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we are going to be making probably at least 2 or 3 updates on this storm, and we will eventually even have a snowfall forecast for this one, which is going to be very exciting. I can't wait to track this one with you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.